There is a world just beyond now where reality rides a razor-thin seam between fact and possibility, where the laws of the present collide with the crimes of tomorrow. Patrolling these vast outlands is a new breed of lawman, guarding the fringes of society's frontiers. They are known simply as highwaymen. And this is their story.
So if you look across the street where all these homes are built in the backdrop of the mountains, according to the picture that you guys will see in the video coming up, this was Riata Pass. As you can see, it's no longer here. Things have changed dramatically. But like I said, the episode is summer of 1945. There's going to be other locations when it comes to this episode, but this is going to be the first of many of all the episodes on the Highwayman in 1988. Boy, I'm pushing myself way back. All right, guys. That will do it for Be Yourself for this episode of Summer of 45 with Sam Jones, Jocko, that was his character name, Tim Russ, and Jane Badler. And the episode had Mark Hudson, not Mark Hudson, sorry, take that back, Bill Hudson, who is Kate Hudson's father. But over here, this area was not a park. Now it's a park where we did the episode where all the military vehicles and everything were out here. In fact, this is the first time I met I'm sorry, a little tired. Wayne Newton came out here with his wife, and it'd be kind of more into this area, but this place has changed so much from 1987, 1988 to now, 2026. Again, this is March 28th, 2026. So that's a little bonus footage here from the Highwayman, summer of 45. And it's been a long time, and a lot of things have changed. I even changed. Even some of these bushes on the ground have changed. Some of these rocks have changed. Well, maybe not the rocks. They might have been moved here and there, slid down the hill a little bit. But the area is still the same. All right, so right now, kind of explain who you are.
My name's Justin Cavalier. I'm part of one of the pioneer families of Scottsdale. My great-grandfather was the town blacksmith of Scottsdale, and we did that for the last 120 years, and I'm still a blacksmith today. This is our property here at Greasewood Flat that's kind of left over. We used to have our family restaurants here, and this is where I grew up, where my mother grew up, and my grandpa has had this since the 50s when he moved up here, and he built this giant water tower that's still here today. And then I just kind of maintained the property after he passed away.
Okay, tell me about, were you here when they did the Highwayman, the episode of 1945?
What year would that have been?
That would have been about 1987, 1988.
I was here barely. I was born in 1988, actually.
Oh, you were here
so yeah,
right?
I was here in spirit. But yeah, no, I was born right down the road, and then I've lived here since 1988. So you have to talk to my uncle about that, George Cavalier.
They know more about.
He might know a little bit more about it, and I'll introduce you to him.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing a little thing out here about about the Highwaymen.
Okay.
And I'm starting off this little series here on YouTube. And this is my first location, per se, because this was probably one of my favorite episodes that I got to work on.
All right.
And Sam Jones, you know him from Flash Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
He was the star of the show.
Okay.
And he played the Highwaymen.
All right.
So they were basically bounty hunters, a little bit into the future. Jane Badler, Tim Russ. It was great, cast.
Mm-hmm.
So I just came out here to stop, but I didn't think to see anybody else out here, especially somebody I know.
Yeah, no, like I said, that was a little bit before my time. That would have been the same year they were filming Raising Arizona out
Right,
here.
right.
You know, I still have some relics from that somewhere. But yeah, so no, my uncle would be the one to talk to about that.
I will have to definitely talk to your uncle. They also did Beyond the Law out here too. Is a movie I worked on with Charlie Sheen.
Yep. I know that one. I've seen that one. I like that one.
So you were a little older on that one.
Mm-hmm. I would have been a little bit older. You know, I remember a couple movies being filmed out here when I was a kid. Nothing in particular. I always was annoyed when they'd shut down my road, though. You know, because back then this 4-lane road was only a 2-lane road, and it would turn to dirt right over there.
I remember that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was filmed here in front of here based on the pictures he showed me, and then right down the way at Pinnacle Peak Patio, which was another family-owned kind of steakhouse from back in the day. It was a place where they'd go if you wore a tie in there, they'd cut it off.
Right. I remember that.
Yep. So yeah.
All right. What was your name again?
I'm Justin Cavalier.
All right, Justin. Thank you for taking your time to talk about this Riata Pass, Greasewood Flats. Thank you.
Yep. No problem.
So everybody right here, if you look at it, this was Riata Pass. This was the steakhouse. And if you can see right behind you, the mountains kind of match up right there.
Here's the old map to get here. Shea Boulevard, Scottsdale to Curry's Corner, into Bonita, and then they just didn't even label the roads back then. You just had to know. And this would be modern day Pima.
Oh, wow.
That would go down, you know. This would have been Hayden.
Right.
Yep. And then this is, Alma School Parkway up here and Happy Valley Road.
When do you think that map was drawn up?
This would have been, this is a menu from around 1966.
Oh, geez, I was about a year old.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously, I was about a year old.
And this photo is probably around 1958.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because this part of the building burned down and then it was rebuilt.
Right.
Yep.
They still had horses and everything else.
Yeah, and then this flagpole is still right over there.
Oh, for Pete's sakes. Yeah, okay, so you can tell it was across the street.
Yep. Yeah, this is the street here. It was dirt back then. When I was a kid, the pavement extended to here, and then it turned to dirt over here.
Wow. So behind us, what we're looking at right now, was just a jewelry store or your grandmother's?
It was a jewelry store that was built for my grandmother, and then it became a gas station, and then it was a general store, and then for a long time a man named Ken Anderson used it as his real estate office.
Really?
Yeah, it was called Ho-Ho-Com Real Estate.
Oh, God. Right. Of course, you know them for being one of the indigenous Native Americans, as you would say.
And this is my grandfather's fake jail that he built, and you can see there's levels of history to it. The blocks that my grandfather made, and then blocks that my uncle made, repairing it at one time, and then it fell down again. And then finally I repaired it by putting in these jail cells, which are actually from Scottsdale's first public jail.
Oh, are you serious?
Yep. And then I built these, and then I made these adobes. And you can tell how time is already starting to rip some of them out again. And repair it again, but yeah.
Time kind of takes everything. For granite,
makes fools of us all.
Right, right. Well, I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you for giving me all this information. And one more look at the picture here. Okay, so there's one thing about it I wanted to show you guys before we end this video. I grabbed these out of the car. You can take a look. These are the call sheets from the episode Summer of '45. And the one thing that's really unique see if I can find it here, is this, as I dropped it. So if you look right here, that was a map that they gave us to be here when our call time. That gave us the directions. It's not like that anymore in this area. Not even close. So that's how things looked. That's how the call sheet, the actors, and everything else. All right, so I hope you guys, sorry about the traffic going by, but my microphone died. But if you guys find this interesting, also check this out. I got the Highwayman shirt. Pretty cool. And we're going to have more episodes coming up. All right. So again, sorry about the traffic. Remember, always be yourself. Stay tuned, more episodes. Peace. There's a plain rock sitting out here in the desert, keeping Pinnacle Peak company.